to the channel. I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and the greatest players to ever play for the Los Angeles Lakers franchise. It's one of the most popular teams of all time. If you go around and ask people all over the world, what's your favorite basketball team? A lot of people will say the Los Angeles Lakers. It's one of the most historic and the most successful basketball franchises, up there with the Boston Celtics. Those two organizations have the most total championships. The Los Angeles Lakers, as we see, have 17 total championships. Los Angeles Lakers have also won the most conference titles. They have 19 conference championships and have 23 conference finals appearances. That's more than any other organization in the NBA. Again, it's one of the most popular franchises. Me personally, I'm more infatuated with the Chicago Bulls organization. It's probably because Michael Jordan is just the GOAT. Definitely one of my favorite players. What Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did in the 90s to me was just amazing. But yeah, the Lakers, an amazing franchise. They also have 34 division championships as well. So, of course, great organization. And if you look at the players who've played for the Lakers, a lot of them are literally top 20, top 15, top 10, top 5 NBA players all time. A lot of great players play for this organization. But in my opinion, these are the top 5 best players to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. At 5, I have the great Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, aka the Big Dipper, the record book. He's one of the greatest players of all time. In my opinion, Wilt Chamberlain is the second greatest NBA player of all time, right behind Michael Jordan. The guy has all the records. His nickname is the record book for a reason. The guy averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds for a season, dropped 100 points in an NBA game. And although I do have Wilt as the 5th best Laker, that is only because he spent most of his prime years with the Warriors and 76ers franchises. Later on throughout his career, of course, he ended up finishing it with the Los Angeles Lakers. He won just one championship in LA, but he is the Lakers franchise leader in rebounds per game, which is 19.2 rebounds. When you look at the stats and add them all up, and he also is the field goal percentage leader as well, at 60.5% from the field. Very dominant player, the most dominant force in NBA history. Big Wilt Chamberlain fan. At 4, I have Shaq Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal as the 4th best player to play for the Los Angeles Lakers franchise. I have him at 4 because Shaq played for a lot of teams, but his peak years, of course, is when he played for the Los Angeles Lakers. He was great, really, really great in Orlando. The guy made the NBA Finals, the second season, with that really deep Orlando roster. Him, Penny, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Horace Grant, definitely a loaded team. But peak Shaq was when he was in LA. 3 championships, and he won 3 championships in a row. 3 Finals MVPs, back to back. And Shaq, for Lakers franchise, he averaged 27 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game. And again, we only played 8 seasons in LA. But what Shaq did in LA was definitely memorizing. He was very dominant and very forceful, very similar to Wilt. You can definitely argue those two to be the most dominant players in NBA history. Definitely love Shaquille O'Neal game. Really, really dominant basketball player. And at 3, who I have as the 3rd greatest Laker, I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the captain. The dude held the record for the most total points before LeBron broke it for 38, almost 40 years, pretty much. Kareem was unreal. He spent 14 seasons with LA, but peak Kareem was his years when he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He of course he had one championship with them, the 1971 NBA Finals. He won it with fellow teammate Oscar Robertson, fellow NBA great. But in his 14 seasons, we can see what Kareem did. He averaged about 22 points, won 5 championships with the Magic. He's actually first in offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, and blocks. And he ranks second in games and minutes played. Kareem played a lot of basketball games. It makes sense why he had the record for the most total career points. He helped build that Lakers dynasty in the 80s with Magic. They were the one-two punch for that team. And the guy had the most unstoppable basketball move, that beautiful sky hook shot. Big shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And number 2, as the second greatest Laker of all time, to me, it is Magic Johnson. The guy went to 12 All-Stars, as we see. He has 3 MVPs, 3 NBA Final MVP awards, and 5 total championships. Again, that he won with Kareem. As you see, for his total career, Magic averaged 11 assists per game in the course of his 13 seasons that he played in the NBA. Of course, he has the franchise record for the most total assists and assists per game, in his 5th in point score. Magic, the greatest passer of all time, greatest playmaker. The dude controlled the game with his passing. Was definitely a fun player to watch. What him and of course Larry Bird did, they, in a way you can say, saved the NBA. If you look at the NBA pre-1980s, which is the same season that Bird and Magic came, the NBA in the 70s ratings were real low, but when those two came, it just simply boosts the NBA ratings up tremendously. And of course, when Michael Jordan emerged right after those two, what ratings went up even more. And definitely can't deny Magic influence on the NBA. Definitely, to me, a top 10 NBA player as well. All right. And then number 1, my guy, the Black Mamba, Lord of the Rings, Kobe Bean Bryant, to me, is the greatest Laker of all time. Love Kobe Bryant, man. To me, arguably one of the most skilled NBA players. The dude could shoot from anywhere. He was a killer in the mid-range. He could score, any way. Face up. His back-to-basket game, as we know, Kobe Bryant post-fade, is definitely up there with MJ. It's pretty much identical with Jordan's. I would definitely say they're 1A, 1B. As we see, Kobe won 5 NBA championships with the Lakers. He won the MVP in 2008, and to me, Kobe should definitely have more MVPs. I love Steve Nash. I mentioned Steve Nash back in my Nikola Jokic video. I love Steve Nash. He was a great player, man. I definitely do believe he deserved the 2005 MVP, but the 2006 MVP should have went to Kobe Bryant. The dude was just balling out that season. Of course, we know about the 81-point game, second most points in the NBA game, right behind Will Chamberlain's 100-point game. That season, we saw Kobe average 35 points. The dude was getting buckets, and he shot an efficient 45% from the field. That's a really good percentile shooting number for a shooting guard. Kobe made 15 All-Star appearances. 18 All-Star appearances. And Kobe definitely, as we know, he holds the franchise record in field goals, 3-point field goals, points, games, minutes, steals, and free throws made. Even Jerry West and Magic Johnson, Shaq, they all consider Kobe to be the greatest Laker of all time. You can look it up and see. They always say Kobe is that guy. And Kobe, to me, he was just a killer on both ends of the court. That's why I love Kobe's game so much. The aspect that I believe that's not talked about enough in Kobe Bryant's game was his defense. The dude made 12 all-defensive teams. Of course, we know he's one of the greatest scorers ever. But the dude was a pure lockdown player. I've seen Stephon Marbury mention how tough it was to play against Kobe. He said the dude would give you 40 and then lock you up the whole night. That just sounds like a nightmare. Like I said, he Mamba mentality for real. Kobe Bryant to me is the greatest Laker. 5 championships, 18 All-Stars, led the NBA in scoring twice. He has 4 All-Star MVPs. Kobe, man, definitely a top 10 NBA player as well. Of course, I wanted to also mention Jerry West has the honorable mentions as the greatest Lakers as well. Definitely was a cornerstone in building that the Lakers franchise. The guy is literally the NBA's logo. Love Jerry West. The dude, as we see, he scored over 25,000 points in his career. He was just a great player. 25,000 points without a 3-point line, mind you. He was known as Mr. Outside. He was known really as the first great outside shooter, and West was a tremendous on-ball defender as well. Unfortunately, I have him at 6 just because he only won one championship, the 1972 NBA season. The dude was 1-8 in the NBA Finals, but that definitely doesn't take away for what he did for the Los Angeles Lakers. As we see the 14 years that he was there, he averaged 27 points, almost 6 rebounds a game, almost 7 assists per game. Definitely one of the best Lakers ever. And then also wanted to mention Elgin Baylor. I love Elgin Baylor. He was known as one of the first high flyer players. He spent his entire career with the Lakers. And he was a great rebounder for a 6'5" basketball player. The dude was rebounding like he was 6'10", 7 foot tall. Really athletic. He never won a championship with the Lakers, but as we see, averaged 27 points a game and 13 boards as a small forward. That's just tremendous, in my opinion. And then also I wanted to definitely wanted to mention George Mikan as well. He's really the first superstar in NBA history. First, dominant big man. Name is Mr. Basketball. If you look up the Mikan drill, it's a real good drill to run if you want to learn how to do layups with both hands. So definitely a legend and a lord in basketball. He won, 5 championships, led the NBA in scoring 3 times, and is a part of the NBA 75th anniversary team. So definitely respect to this guy. Great player, real great player. And I also wanted to bring up one of my favorite players as well, Big Game James. The dude was cold. 7 All-Stars, yes, 3 NBA championships, and was in 2 All NBA teams, and he has a Finals MVP as well. That goes to show you how deep those Lakers team in the 80s were. Kareem, Magic, and James were getting the Finals MVPs. Big Game James, a great player. Dude dropped a triple-double in the NBA Finals game as well. And they almost lost that series to the great Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys era Pistons. Definitely one of my favorite teams as well. They're fun to watch. Definitely gonna have a video on them coming out soon. But yeah, James Worthy was really great. He averaged 17 points per game, 5 boards, and 3 assists throughout his career for the this great Los Angeles Lakers franchise. But yeah, just wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers organization and the great players that played for this team. Again, it's arguably them and the Celtics the most historic franchises. But I wanted to just have this discussion. You guys tell me in the comments what's your order of the greatest Lakers of all time. Do you agree with my list? And yeah, just wanted to share my opinion. All right, till next video.